welcome to another D-Link how-to. Today we're going to be talking about how to set up your home network from scratch and how to optimize it. I'm Sophie, I do PR for D-Link, and this is Alan.
I'm Alan, and I'm the Marketing Manager and Consumer Products Manager for D-Link here in the UK.
So today we're going to start with the basics and we're going to talk about a home network and how to set it up nice and simply and easy.
I think the best thing for us, Sophie, is if we start at the very start.
Yeah.
So if you're moving into a new house, for instance, that's the absolute best time to evaluate who's providing your internet.
Yes.
ISPs have moved, new ISPs come out every day, and at D-Link we are obviously ISP neutral.
Yeah.
Just so you know, ISP stands for Internet Service Provider.
Okay.
So that's basically what they are. So you pick your internet service provider from those who can supply a broadband signal to your postcode.
Okay, and how would you go about finding out who provides it to your postcode and who would be the best one to go for based on all the different options out there?
Personally, I think it's a good idea, as I'm just doing now, to use a comparison website.
Okay.
Something like, there's many out there. Today we're just going to use Money Saving Expert.
Fabulous. I didn't even know that you could do that on Money Saving Expert. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's very good. They're all absolutely fine. I don't need to go for all of them, but I would suggest you just go on Google and do a search for a comparison.
Okay.
So the basic steps are, we're on the website here.
Okay.
So you enter your postcode. We're going to use a pre-selected postcode here, which is the area of the country that has the fastest internet available.
Okay.
Because that will show us the
full
vastest range of what you want.
I get it.
So what you'll see on here is you'll see a few internet options, Now Broadband, Vodafone, all the others that will provide a signal to your area.
Okay.
As I said, we're not recommending anybody here today, but what we would suggest is that on here you can see, for instance, this is about Sky. They have ratings that are based on that broadband company's customer service.
Right,
so
okay.
Look at the price, look at the customer service when you're making your choice.
And what about in terms of the actual megabyte or the speed, and because that confuses me. I don't understand what I need to be looking for.
So if I scroll back up to the top here, you can see down here on the left hand side you can pick the various speeds.
Okay.
Now most of the country is within this area here, which is the 55 meg. So that means that you'll get about 75 megs to your premises.
Okay. Is that good?
It's standard now. It's standard. What most people want is a speed faster than 100 meg. And as you can see here, your average package for full fibre 73 meg is £20 on an effective monthly cost. But if you go up to 100, it's £21. So
that's so much better.
Very little difference
in price. That and 100 would be the difference between what and what.
100. If you've got 70, 100 is 30 meg more. So that's a good speed.
So you're just talking about much better, quicker, faster, everything.
Yeah. I think when you're picking your fibre package, only you know your individual circumstances.
And your needs,
if you work from home, if you pull down big files from the internet rapidly, such as video files, those kind of things. Like I have to edit video,
this would be
upload
great
to
for my
YouTube,
husband.
download to YouTube, 100%.
Perfect.
So what I would suggest you do is you look here and you look at some of the speeds and you evaluate the speed versus the price.
Yeah.
See, one of these packages, 500 megs, is available for £28.67.
That's very fast.
In your own head, is that £7 difference worth it for you?
Yeah.
And I would suggest if you're a family, if you've got children that come home, they're going to be streaming Netflix while you're working.
Right.
You want to watch Netflix in 4K, they're going to be gaming upstairs. If you can, go for these high level packages. If you're on your own, if you're low usage, then you'll probably be fine with 100 or maybe even slightly lower than that.
That's a very good point, actually. I had no idea that it would make a difference, the amount of people in the house using it at the time.
It really does.
And as opposed to it just being about speed generally.
Yeah. And there's also other things that you can do to mitigate the capacity of your network, which we'll talk later when we get onto the Wi-Fi 6
That's so helpful.
The router section.
That's answered a lot of questions for me. Thank you.
So use whichever website you're a fan of, and just go with. Read the reviews, and then pick a speed based on how much internet you think you use and how much you use it. Because we're not going to advocate for you to go and get the very fastest speeds if you don't need it, a big user.
And spend the so just explain to me exactly what actually happens with an ISP. Once you've picked and you've bought and you've signed up, then what happens?
So what will happen then is the ISP will just basically get everything set up for you in the background. You don't have to do anything.
Okay, great.
It's not like the old days. They used to come to your house or have to lay a cable or anything like that. They literally just switch it on at the junction box, and within a couple of days. What a lot of people do now is they switch a lot more than they used to. Like we switch bank accounts.
Utilities.
You're not stuck with your provider. If they give you a bad deal, or you see it as a bad deal, then go on and look, and don't be scared about switching, because it doesn't take the length of time that it used to.
Okay.
They cooperate with each other to move you very smoothly.
You don't have to phone them up and say, I'm cancelling. You can just go with a new one and be done with it.
It would be better to phone them up and cancel,
to make it speedy,
because they may give you a better option to stay with them.
Okay, great.
And just evaluate it that way.
So great. Okay, super. Okay, I think that's everything we need to know about an ISP.
Brilliant.
Now we're going to talk about something that's confused me for years. The modem. What is a modem?
Yeah, it's a common question we get asked all the time here is, what's the difference between a modem and a router? Do I have a separate modem and router? Why
would I need one?
Why do I need to upgrade my router? It's a constant question, and we spend our time answering that question a lot here. So what we got in front of us here is I've bought my own modem from home, which is basically a separate modem unit. And it has the advantage of me being able to just take a cable, plug it into the LAN port on the back there, which is highlighted in the yellow. So that's how you know that's the output, sorry. And then that goes into your router.
Okay.
What Sophie has in front of her is one of our own combined modem and routers.
Right.
And now, these are great units, but they're slightly more inflexible than having a separate modem.
Why is that?
Because this provides the modem, and the modem is basically taking the signal from your ISP and translating it so that the router can assign IP addresses to all the devices in your house. It's something called DHCP.
Right.
And this unit does both in one go, which you might think,
to me, that sounds like a better job.
It does.
A better idea.
It does sound better. The problem is that, let's say for instance you have this unit. This unit is Wi-Fi 5.
Yeah.
We're on Wi-Fi 6.
Right.
It's a little bit more complicated to upgrade that to a Wi-Fi 6 router than it is just a standard modem. Because what you have to do with the router is go in and you have to disable the NAT. And there are certain ISPs where it's a little bit more difficult than with others.
This is starting to confuse me a bit.
Okay.
Right, so explain, what is a NAT?
A NAT is basically the wireless transmission.
Right.
So what we're doing when I say disable the NAT is we are putting the modem router combined unit into modem only mode.
Right.
So you are disabling its wireless capabilities, and that will allow you to plug in another router which will provide those wireless capabilities.
My question is that, why would you just even bother having a router modem combined product when actually you're basically converting it into something that you've got somewhere else?
If you're a very light user, if you are in a studio flat, if you're in a smallish space, then a unit like that will probably provide enough coverage for you.
Right.
If you're in a 3-story home, that's really going to struggle to cover every corner of your house. And you can go down the route of extenders. We can move into that a little bit more when we talk about mesh. But an extender isn't the optimal solution, because it will cut the power of your signal by a certain percentage, probably about 50%.
Okay.
So if that's producing a speed of, let's say, 1,000, your extender will only be able to produce 500.
I get it. So would your advice be in general, if you live in a house with space, a lot of space, and maybe more than one person, or you just want a really good setup, it would be better to have a separate modem and router?
It would be, but sometimes you don't get the choice because of what your ISP has provided you with.
But you don't have. Do you have to keep the product that the ISP has provided you?
No.
Right. This is key, right? So if the ISP sends in not necessarily the best router or modem, then you can make the choice for yourself to then look at it and think, actually, I'm going to try a different product, which is better.
Yeah, I would suggest, because there is absolutely no value to upgrading your modem, because all it does is translate the signal, as we said earlier. There's no point in upgrading it. Just take this unit and just turn it into just a modem.
Brilliant.
And then look at a router-based or mesh-based solution plugged into the back of it, as you would do normally. So,
guys out there, think about that. Just because your ISP sends you a free product doesn't mean it's good. Think about it.
It doesn't mean it's bad either, Sophie, just to weigh that up. But what an ISP won't be is, I doubt that they will be proactive in providing you with the latest technology.
Okay.
So that's why, as we said in the previous part, if you switch your contracts more often, you are more likely to get a better product from them, a newer product from them than previously.
Super, I love that. Okay, tell me a bit more about the setup then. So, in a home network situation, what's the optimal way of getting your signal in and your signal out?
Well, if you grab our new router there, which is making its debut.
Very excited about this, people.
On today's video.
Da, da, da. It could well be the best looking router on the planet. Yes, ladies out there specifically who absolutely hate black boxes, check this out.
If you can't tell that Sophie works in PR, you certainly can now. So the optimal solution, I mean, for me, I have a separate router. I literally take my LAN port, plug it in the back here, yellow for the input. Plug that back in there, as you can see on the back there, and power this on, set it up by the app, and we're ready to go.
And this is going to be much better than this.
Yes.
And this is going to be likely much better than anything that the ISP is going to send also.
Yeah, I'd certainly imagine so. Yes.
Fabulous.
This is the new Aquila M30. It's part of the new Aquila family. This is the baby of the family. M30 AX 3000 speeds, does 160 megahertz. So it's a great unit. But what this gives you is a world of possibilities, whereas you're slightly more restricted when it comes to extending that one signal.
Yeah.
So this unit has effectively replaced the router in that, and this unit can go in your living room, in your hallway, wherever the internet comes in, and then buy another one and put it upstairs.
Fabulous.
And so what you're doing is you've got the power of 2 units there.
Okay.
And
what do we need the Ethernet cables for?
Well, the Ethernet cable. The Ethernet cable, as we connected the modem to the router.
Ah, right, okay, brilliant.
So you would do exactly the same with that. So you would unplug the Ethernet cable from here, plug it into the back of the unit on here, so LAN.
And that's how it would become the modem.
And the LAN WAN port on the back there. And then you would read the individual instructions. So all of these will give you instructions on how to disable the NAT or put it into modem only mode.
Great.
Has different names.
Fab.
And then a little bit more complicated, but then just plug this router in and this will take the place.
Amazing.
We had to do that at the last video that we filmed on location.
Yeah.
And we had to disable the NAT of a certain ISP to get the Eagle Pro system up and running.
Fantastic. I love this. Okay. And are we going to talk about this product a bit more, maybe on another video?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's such a fabulous product, isn't it? We should probably talk about this more. But you need to get this, people, because this is going to be like the groundbreaking tech.
Yeah, there's going to be 4 models in the unit. As I said, this is the entry level. Then there'll be an M60, which we also have, and it's just basically a bigger brother version of this unit. These are lovely units. They're wall mountable, as you can see on the back there. They've got these great vents on the back so that they never get hot, never run too hot.
Great.
And they are built with one of Sophie's favourite words, lifestyle, in mind. So they're built to blend into your home.
Yeah,
and we've gotten some very, very good press and feedback from journalists on them so far. And they haven't played with them yet. I have played with them, and
it's great.
They're very, very reliable units.
Fantastic. Hold on to your hats. This is going to get exciting. We're going to talk about cables, which doesn't sound exciting, but actually you need to understand cables because they are what powers every product.
Only in a D-Link video can people get excited about cables. But just a very brief section on cables. You've seen the way that we connected the modem to the router. Just a little note, I've got several cables in front of us here. What the cable that we recommend is called Cat5e cable. And Cat5e cable is basically future-proofing your network because it's able to carry gigabit speeds and multi-gigabit speeds up to about 45 meters, which is more than enough for home. So you'll see very expensive cables on a variety of retail websites, but for home use, Cat5e is more than good enough unless you're going to be traveling for very far distances.
And you can buy these just online?
You can buy them online. You'll get one in the box for free.
From D-Link?
For instance, we can open up the box and there'll be a Cat5 cable in here.
Okay, and what about with the routers?
You'll get one in the box as well.
That's great, and it will look like this.
In the modem, and it will look like that.
Fabulous.
Yeah. And most of them will be Cat5e cables. As I said, no need to go for Cat6 unless you're going to be running multi-gigabit networks over large distances.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that in a second.
Super. And this basically carries the internet through the cable.
Yes, the RJ45 connector goes into the back of the router. So we'll plug that into our lovely Aquila here. If you plug it into port 1
is it just a normal port?
Put it in port 1. There you go.
Oh, nice.
That plugs into there.
And then
the other end plugs into your TV, your streaming device, your PlayStation 5.
Right.
All those kind of options.
Great.
But whilst Wi-Fi 6 improves the wireless standard, BSS colouring, all those kind of stuff, take down interference, you will still get a faster signal via a switch.
Why is that? Why adding something else into a connective network? How is that making it faster? Because to me, in my head, it's like the less things connected means the faster speed.
Wireless signals are subject to interference, as I said. So Wi-Fi 6 improves that with something called BSS colouring, which provides circles around the signals. So your signal won't interfere with your neighbour's signal and those kind of things. So it does cut down on interference, but wireless signals are always going to have a certain level. Devices interfere with them because Wi-Fi is basically radio waves.
Okay.
Your microwave, your baby monitor,
they'll all
Wi-Fi is interfered with by insulation in walls and fish tanks, bodies of water, all that kind of stuff will interfere with the wireless signal.
Okay.
A wired signal, there is nothing stopping it from getting straight through.
Okay.
So that go into your TV or that will go into the switch.
Okay, great.
And so what we've basically done there is we have taken up one port on the router. We have 3 ports left, but we've got a TV, a PC, a laptop, a PlayStation 5, a streaming device that we all want to connect. But now we've got 7 ports on the switch as well.
Okay.
And this little beauty is the DGS 108 GL.
Yeah.
It's a metal case. Metal on a switch is better at dissipating heat, which is why metal switches cost slightly more. We have plastic switches which cost about £5 less than these.
You may as well just get the good safe. It feels like it's safer.
Well, a metal one will last longer and it will run at a lower temperature. But if you are on a budget, a plastic switch will suffice and it will last a decent amount of time.
Okay.
But we would recommend metal if you have a choice and budget is no issue.
We call them switches, but basically it's hub port.
It's a port hub extender.
Hub.
Yeah.
Okay,
so when you buy a USB hub to give you more USBs for your laptop if you've only got one,
like these ones,
this is essentially doing the same thing. So a lot of people do search for the search term port hub.
And would you say this is something that most families could use, but probably don't even know
100%.
that it's out there? Because I haven't got one of these, and I'm wondering why I haven't.
Probably, maybe
I've got multiple devices.
Maybe people haven't explained to you the benefits of wired over wireless.
Yeah.
We love wireless. We're D-Link. We love providing people a wireless signal. This will give you the lowest latency for gaming, the lowest latency for streaming, the highest possible capacity. You're getting 1 gigabit straight from the router into the switch.
Okay.
It will provide more security, because if somebody is sat outside your property, you can always try and hack and guess somebody's password and try and get on. There's other things you can do about that, like setting up guest networks and other bits. But this is the strongest, fastest, lowest latency signal that you'll get in your home.
So this would be good for businesses.
Most businesses, like our office, we all have Ethernet connections coming into our laptops. But then obviously when we come into a meeting room, we'll be operating on wireless. But yes, it is. It's
good for a small solution. Or a larger business as well.
100%.
Because it's the security, I guess, majorly.
Yes, security, latency, and all of those kind of things.
Okay, fantastic. That's really helpful. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, next step.
Right.
The ones in front of Sophie.
Right, yes, okay. Again, this is the 2.5G multi-gigabit desktop switch, the DMS 105. Let's open it up and see what it's like.
The reason
it looks very similar to that, but smaller. Yeah,
the reason for going down the route of the multi-gigabit switch now is this switch is 1 gigabit. Low priced. It's about 20 to 25 pounds.
This is heavy.
These are heavy.
And it feels really nice and good quality.
These are good build quality.
I can see that this is where the hot air comes out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So they're fanless, but they don't get hot. They've all got IEE built into them. They're all D-Link green, which means that individual ports shut down when they're not being used, which add longevity to the unit and reduce power consumption. As part of the green initiative. So the real advantage of this switch over this one is the 2.5 gigabit, as Sophie alluded to earlier.
Yeah.
So when you've got a lovely AX3000 router like this, you have you have more than 1 gigabit running through the device, as long as you have more than 1 gigabit coming in.
Okay.
So this will limit the wired connection to 1 gigabit, whereas this will allow you to have 2.5 gigabits coming out.
Okay.
So this will really, really speed up your home network.
That's amazing. Great.
Outside of that, these switches are very good for people who have NAS servers, for people who move large files around their home networks.
Okay.
As well.
So like editors,
film people,
film industry people.
Yeah. If you've got stuff on a network, if you've got stuff then a multi-gigabit switch will really, really improve the speeds that you can throw files around.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. That's the DMS 105. That's the mini unit, and then
is this quite new?
These are fairly new. Yeah. Yes, these are fairly new. We've got a 5-port and 8-port version, and then we've got the more aesthetically pleasing version, which we point this one at gamers, which we did the video on before.
This looks great.
So what we've got here is the DMS 106XT. We did a previous video on this one, a full unboxing. This has a 10 gigabit uplink and 2.5 gigabit ports out.
Right.
So this is the real winner.
This is the gamers.
But this is more the gamers unit, the streamers unit, because it's more designed to be aesthetically pleasing. Do you want me to move that out of the way?
Yeah. I love it. It looks like it's got all the bells and whistles. Okay, here we go. Let's get it out. Let's see what this is. Wow.
So just designed to be just a little bit more aesthetically pleasing on display. It has the lovely LED strip, as you can see on the box.
This is great.
On the front there.
Look at that.
Much more
really snazzy.
Much more well designed.
Really heavy.
Yeah, it's a very heavy unit, but it connects up in the same way. The 10 gigabit port is number 6 on the back there, and then you've got 5 ports other than that. These are in order of priority. So the device you plug into port number 1 will be given priority over number 2, over number 3, over number 4. So if you're a Netflix streamer, plug your TV into number 1, or if you've got a switch, plug your switch into number 1, and that will become the primary port there. So
okay, great.
That's all fine.
That's
so
amazing.
in the same way, you just plug the modem straight into the port there, and that's ready to go. All of the switches are plug and play.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of them. There's no device drivers, there's nothing to load. You literally plug them in, plug them into the wall. They come with the power socket as you do. There is a quick start guide in the box, but it doesn't really say anything. You literally just plug them in and go.
Easy. I love this. These are great.